Alright, so here's what we're going to make today. This is a pyrometer to test the temperature in a furnace for melting aluminum or brass, and made out of just a piece of 1/2-inch conduit, and altogether it was less than $30. Alright, let's get started. Alright, the components we need are right here, and you can pause your video if you need to write these down, but this is just I bought them all from Amazon, and these are the descriptions as they were. So I don't know if Dodolite is actually the company I bought it from or not, but it's a digital dual 2-channel 2K type thermometer thermocouple sensor. Okay, and that is the actual unit that we're going to use. This right here, and on it says a digital thermometer and 6802 Roman numeral 2. And as you can see, that was $17.98. And now it comes with 2 thermocouples, 2 K-type thermocouples. Let's see if it says suitable. Oh, yeah, they only go to 400C, so that isn't going to work for us. All right, so I bought this thermocouple right here. It is stainless steel, and you can see it came for the huge price of $6.78. And this is it right here, and it is stainless steel, supposedly. Now, it does not come with a plug, so the plugs for it is this number right here, and you get 5 of them for $2.82. And all of this included shipping. You know, I think it came from China. I had to wait like a month to get it, but you know, for under $30, you get all this. Now this will go to 1250C, which is 2282 Fahrenheit, which will easily do aluminum and the upper range of brass and that type of thing. It's not going to do steel, cast iron, or anything like that. Now the first thing I did was I bent my piece of conduit, and I used this right here. It's a Klein Tool 1/2-inch EMT conduit bender that I got at Home Depot. And the 1/2-inch size, I don't remember how much I paid for this thing. It's not too bad, but you know, if you don't bend a whole lot of this, I'm not real. I bought it, finally, you know, broke down and bought one, because every time I want to bend this, I wind up kinking it. And I use a 1/2-inch PVC quite a bit, not 1/2-inch conduit quite a bit, because it's really cheap. You know, you get a whole stick of it for about $4, so it's pretty cheap. So just, you know, you'll need this or something like it to bend this to some kind of shape, or somehow coax it into the right shape. This is going to be the handle end, and this end is where I'm going to put on the sensor. So this is a 1/4-inch pipe coupler, and this, which is metric, amazingly screws right into it. All right, so I'm going to weld that on the end right here. Alright, so that's welded on there now. And the next thing I want to do is, when I put this in here, when I get that down in there, I want this wire, you know, it's got some kind of metal braid on it, so I assume that it's pretty well protected. But this is going to go down in the crucible, and then the fire is going to be coming up around the crucible, like right in here. So I'm going to drill a hole right in here, so that I can snake this up inside of the pipe. Alright, so let's screw this down in here for a second. Alright, so we want our hole to be right about there. Okay. You know, you get lazy, it never does really save time, does it? Alright, let's try that. Alright, so then I just kind of laid the bit over and watered it out just a little bit to get a nice angle up like that. Alright, now I've already got my jack on there, so I'm going to have to take it off. Alright. Okay, so that's got our jack off, and now we're going to run this. It's got our plug off of there. Now let's just run this up through the hole. Alright. Okay. So what the deal was is this pipe had been stored outside, and a dirt dauber had plugged, one dirt dauber had plugged up this end and another one had plugged up the other end. So I had to go get a heavy wire to unplug it. Let's see if it'll go now. Those things are just a scourge. That's not wanting to. I had to get my fish tape out and actually run it down through there. Sheesh. Alright. So that looks pretty good. Now, we got way too much cord sticking out this end, but we'll go ahead and put this end back on. I don't think it matters which way you hook this thing up. Because when I first hooked this thing up, I tested it earlier, and when I first put it in something hot, it actually started going down. So I was like, oh, well, that can't be right. So I flipped the polarity on it and then it worked. Okay, that's got our plug on. Now the next thing we need to do is fix a way to hold this on so that we don't have to hold it in one hand while we stick this. You know, actually, that really wouldn't be, yeah, I'd rather not have to do that. Okay, so let's come up with a way to attach this onto the handle. Alright, I got a piece of kind of heavy sheet metal here. And, you know, if you don't have any sheet metal, you can gather some up. You know, when you throw stuff away, like say somebody's getting rid of a microwave, get a screwdriver and take the case off of it. And the case is sheet metal. So you can find this stuff, you just got to kind of get used to looking for it. Alright, so I'm going to take this little square and put it up against there and mark it. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's see, looks like something about like that's going to be right. So let's get one side nice and straight. Like, well, look at that. And then what we can do is set that there, use our square, because we want to get it right on that line. Okay. And put a little mark there. Let's get this line back up. Okay. And right there. Okay, so if we put that there, okay, so if we bend those two sides up, that'll hold the sides. And now I want a piece at the bottom to hold it up. Okay, so now the next thing I've got to do is cut all of this stuff out. Okay, now I've got a shear break, and so I'm gonna take it and cut it off over there. All right, now all I have to do is bend these up. First though, I'm gonna go to the grinder and I'm gonna ease these corners over so that they're not as sharp. All right, now let's get it bent. All right, now there's several ways of doing this, but since I've got this brake, this is what I'm going to use. Just get it lined up. Gives us a nice bend there. And then just like that. And now this last one, I've got these hand benders like this, and we can just take that last bit and get it started like that. And that's got it finished up. All right, let's go see how it fits. All right. So, I want it to fit tighter than that. So, I'm going to just move these sides in just a little bit. There. That way when I put it in there, it's in there. It ain't gonna fall out. All right, so to position this, I originally thought, you know, I would just put it on here like this, but then when you put it down, in there, it's gonna be hard to read it. So I think what I really want to do is, let's see, let's bring it up here and attach it like that, so that when you're so when you got it down in there, it's actually pointing at you. So I think I need a little bit of a brace back here. So let me get that made. All right, so nothing fancy here, just a piece of that same sheet metal. And I'm going to just put a little bend in it. Right there. If we put that there, and that goes there, and I just need another bend like this. You know, with sheet metal, be careful, it can cut the heck out of you. Well, I got that angle way off. Okay, so if that's there like that, then we can do something like that. Alright, let's get this tacked up. Alright, so I've got this, I think at 90 degrees here, and this laid out and propped up at the other end, so I think I've got it lined up. Who knows? So I'm going to tack it right here and then test it. Nobody breathe in the zinc fumes. Okay, so now, if I hold that down, I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so where's my brace? Let's see, I was going to do it like that. Alright, so that's got it. Let's see. I want to get rid of some of this wire. Or if I could just push it back in there. See. Plug that in right there. I want about this much to disappear. So let's just try. Alright, so if that's sitting right there, and that's plugged in right there. 11. We want that to be about there. So there we have it. Let me pull out so you can see this thing. So a couple things. Now, I've got the thermocouple plugged in here. Let me turn it on. And it's going to come on. The first thing it's going to do is give us a temperature, but it's going to be in Celsius. So if you just hit this, it'll take you Fahrenheit. You can also get Kelvin, which doesn't help me at all. Okay, so there's Fahrenheit. Now, if you, like what I did was I reached down and I put my hand on the thermocouple. If the temperature starts going down instead of going up, because you know your body heat should be making it go up, then just unplug this and turn it around and plug it right back in. And then it'll, when you hold on to it, it'll start going up. So when I was putting this plug on, I was telling you it really doesn't matter which way you wire it, because you can just flip it. Alright, so here's the final product. We've got our meter on here and the probe on the end. Looks like it's going to work really well. You drop it down in the crucible, you can see the meter. You know, I might have tipped it up just a little bit more, but I can see it just fine. So anyway, I think this is going to work great. Next time I melt some aluminum, I'll be testing the temperature. Thank you for watching.